Funny cat videos, harmless pastime for single women, or crack cocaine for the eyes. We let you decide. I'm Jeff Rugburn, and this is The Rugburns. Recent studies have shown that in our lifetime, 1 in 3 of us will be affected by funny cat videos. What started out as a harmless pastime has now grown into a multi-million-dollar industry. Addiction levels having risen at such an alarming rate, some addicts getting hooked as young as 3 years of age. With stigma still attached to cat video addiction, some have had to seek help behind closed doors. I've come to the headquarters of Cat Video Anonymous, or C.V.A as it's better known, in an attempt to better understand the problems behind cat video addiction. The C.V.A provides a clean and safe environment, free from judgment, for all those wanting to get back on the wagon. I'm introduced to founding member Marie Jones, who was once an addict herself, but claims to have been clean for almost 3 years now. I asked Marie to describe her first experience with cat videos.
So I was at the vet's getting my camel toe checked, when all of a sudden this crazy woman runs through the doors with the headless cat in her hands. I'm like, oh my god, what the frack? Seemingly she'd been videoing her cat juggling knives when it slipped and decapitated itself. Well, what the hell did she expect? I said enough. No more. In order to avoid little pussycats being hurt and abused, I had to get to the root of the problem. The video junkies. And that's when Cat Videos Anonymous was set up.
I asked Marie would it be okay if I interview some of her patients that are currently checked in to the C.V.A. She said no, but I did it anyway. This is Francis, a former Mr. Universe and psychiatric nurse. He became one of the internet's largest distributors of online cat video. But with the loss of his biggest star, Terry the cat, his empire crumbled around him, leaving him a broken man. He checked in nearly a year ago today, and is still unable to come to terms with the loss of his cat.
I was in the park one day with Terence, my cat. He was running around, jumping, sitting, fetching, running some more. I mean, that's what he loved to do. Anyway, this guy came over and started talking about we can make lots of money from that cat. He started talking about online cat videos, that people were willing to pay lots of money for that kind of thing. I told him to go away. I mean, I'm not going to pin Terence out like that. Terence is nobody's whore.
Meet Jim Funk. Former rodeo to the doors and the windows, he now works part-time at a local record store. He has been clean for some time now, but still stops by occasionally to say hello and tell a few stories from his rodeo days. He tells me how he was able to obtain cat-based comedy before the advent of the internet.
So there I was at his party, right? It's in 1967, and I was with my friends Jack McCool and Johnny Rave, and we was spit roasting his bird, Janine. And this other bloke comes around, and he's like, take a look at this, and it's a picture of a cat playing with a ball of string. It's the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So naturally, I gave him my position in exchange for the photograph. It was the best decision of my entire life.
Meet Harry. Due to his strict religious upbringing and for fear of persecution, he has asked us not to show his face or use his real name. So to comply with Harry's wishes, we have changed his name from Harry Henderson to something else.
My father was a well-known Baptist minister, very strict but very fair. Taught me the difference between right and wrong, good and evil, Prince and Michael Jackson. One day, after a particularly fiery sermon, I followed him into his study. I hid behind the curtain before he saw me. I don't know what possessed me to hide. Saw him look around, take a picture off the wall. Behind it was a safe I had never seen before. He opened it, took out a tape, pressed play, and I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't. I need to take a break.
I decided to delve deeper into cat decapitation, and my research horrified me. Not only was it commonplace, it was an almost certain side effect of working within the cat video industry, with 1 in 3 cats retiring without a head.
I'm sorry. This is very hard for me. Try to push this moment to the back of my mind for some time now. So my father pressed play, sat down in his favorite brown leather chair. Picture quality was poor. I mean, it was really poor. Clearly been well watched. On the screen was this young, viral, tomboy kitten playing with the ball. And my God, it was disgusting. My childhood ended that day. Never saw my father in the same way after that.
So ever since the 60s, I was spending all of my money on these bloody cat pictures. It ruined me. I lost my job, I lost my family, I lost my wife. Come to think of it, I don't think I actually had any of those things, but then the internet comes along in the 90s and oh my God, it was sensory overload. I was just cat pictures all the time, and I've been living a life of piracy ever since.
I started out small with my first few sessions at my apartment, and it grew from there. But a lot of the people, well, they didn't want their family and friends to find out about their addiction. And too right, because they knew they were going to be disowned. So a lot of it was kept behind closed doors. However, the more prominent cat video addiction became in the media, the more people realized this is an actual problem. These people need help, and they're not just nuts.
But then I lost my job at the mental home. I let one of the patients out for a smoke, completely against regulations. Tony was his name. I turned my head for a second and he was gone. They found his body, well, what was left of it anyway, in a tiger's cage at the local zoo. Turns out he was trying to mate with one of the tigers. No one knows how he got into the cage, but they had to put the tiger down as well. Papers had a field day with the headlines. Tony and the tiger, they're dead.
Warning. Some viewers might find the following scenes disturbing. Those with weak stomachs should leave now. These are cat videos, and they are everywhere. I was shocked at just how easy it was to obtain them. But with few regulations in the cat industry, I fear it's a problem that's here to stay. More needs to be done to keep this filth off our streets, off our screens, and out of the hands of our children. If something's not done soon, it may be too late for all of us.
But it's not just addicts that are affected. It's also performers. Somebody who's working long hours, without any kibble breaks, brought into an industry while they're just little kittens, not knowing their paws from their tails. This is a black market that needs to be brought to light. That's where C.V.A. comes into play. I know I can make a difference. I know it. And I will. I will.
The money stopped coming in, and I had to do what I had to do, and Terence suffered for it. I put him through some awful sorts of poses. Jump, I'd scream, show me some teeth, meow, louder, louder. I turned into a monster, and people just loved it. The money rolled in. I tried to keep Terence happy with jewellery and expensive holidays, but he had enough. He left me and he's never coming back. Oh God, why did I do such terrible things? Terence!
So I'd have to say my lowest point was probably when my internet went down. I couldn't watch any videos or find any pictures, so I got a spyglass and I was spying on the neighbours. 2 days I waited, watching. Cats never did anything funny. Cops kicked in my door for being a peeping Tom. I decided I needed help. I enrolled in a program called C.V.A, Cat Videos Anonymous. The first rule of Cat Videos Anonymous is stop looking at cat videos.
Hey, what's going on here? Who
No, no, don't do it. Don't.
Ah! What are you doing?
Oh!
Wow, what a day it's been. I came here knowing nothing about cats and cat video addiction. But I feel like I've learned something. These people aren't just mindless morons. They're real people with real problems. Who will ever forget Billy crying for his lost cat Terence? I know I won't. I'm Jeff Rugburn, and this is the Rugburn. Ha ha, look at the silly cat!